a long exhale, and her hand slowly stretches out to the teacup.
はあ、珍しいです。ポーレットがミルクもお砂糖も入れないなんて。
そういう気分の時もあるのさ。人間だからな。
はわ、やっぱりレイルロードとは違うのですね。
Rana drinks from her usual flask. Considering what she says, it must be, she must be having the same diesel fuel from the same maker.
違わないと思う。人間もレイルロードも揺れるのと揺れないの、強いのと弱いのがいるだけで。そうなんですか?
Rana looks up at me. For some reason, Paulette won't answer. Paulette seems to be waiting for my response too.
確かにいる。が、それも決して不変ではない。弱い者が強くもなれば、強い者が弱くもなる。
はあ。
I glance at Paulette and then nod. Rana seems convinced.
レイナはきっとまだ弱いから、そういう気分がわからないのですね。違うかな。きっと弱さをまだ知らないだけ。けどそんなのずーっと知らない方がいい。はあ。
A happy scream. Rana is picked up by Paulette and sat on her lap.
それで相鉄くん。
なあ。
With Rana on her lap as usual, Paulette seems to have stabilized. Her voice and expression are much more relaxed.
課題は確かに多く複雑ではあるな。が、それはヒントをもらえたということでもある。
そうですよね。
She slowly puts words together.
宝生さん、その気になれば、この計画も会社だって潰せたんですから。
だな。
Kisaki didn't do that. She even said that she had hopes for us.
つまり、僕たちにはまだ可能性があるということだ。ならば僕らが考えるべきは、そうするための次の一手だ。
そうですね。うん。まだ実際には何も動いてないですもんね。
ああ。
But we did receive a warning. If we move carelessly, we can be attacked and crushed. This is that sort of matter.
協力者を求めることや意見募集はひとまず中断するべきかもしれんな。
ですね。妙な噂が立っちゃう前に準備できるだけ固めないと。
不安要因をできる限りに減らすためには、何よりもやはり資金の見通しを明確にすることか。
そう思います。とにかくいくら必要になりそうか概算でも出しておかないことには。
だな。しかし、
To put together an estimate, we need a business plan. We can narrow down the scope of the facilities. We have to restore until we have a plan.
まずはミニマムで考えよう。今出ている案に必要な施設がどの程度かを。
それだと廃宿舎の中とかも再調査しないとですね。
But you didn't the first time.
ああ、そうです。調査です。
Rena suddenly raises her voice, probably because she's used to it. Paulette remains calm.
鉱山鉄道の調査、結果、どうなったのですか？
ああ、
We've been focusing so much on the mine treasure that we've forgotten to report on that. Granted, there really isn't anything of note to report regarding that issue.
あのね、レイナ。はいです。
While spreading out the old map from Taito's room, Paulette starts explaining to Reina. Reina nods numerous times and confirms the point, while asking detailed questions along the way.
ここに沈殿池があったんですか。なら、周りの建物は先端状ですね、きっと。
The tipple.
先端状は石炭の選別をする場所のことですよ。けど、厳密な品質検査をするとかじゃなくって、石炭とボタ、石炭くずを分けて、それから石炭くずでさえない土砂とか銅線の切れ端とかを手で分けてました。
銅線？
Why did that take so long for her to say?
先端状？
I didn't even need to look at the...
石炭の選別をする場所で先端状です。
I didn't even need to look at the definition.
おお、なるほどな。
As expected from a former mining railway, Rana gleams what we thought was information not worth reporting into something more meaningful little by little.
で、この終点は炭鉱夫さんたちと掘った石炭を乗せるための駅だったんですよ、きっと。
Nods to herself. Her short fingers point at the single spot on the map.
それで、きっと、こっちの方に走る視線もあるですね。
視線？
嘘、なんで？だって、これ、発電所のマークじゃないですか。
お！
That's right. There were many power generating facilities around that mine. And because they don't have any power lines going from the city to the Jutusen coal mine,
発電所への視線。宿舎があるの、ここですよね。
her short fingers point accurately at the right location. On the map, there's the power station and dormitories. It has at least a straight line distance of 5 kilometers.
こんなとこまで山道越えて歩けないですよ。だから、絶対視線があったって思います。そうよね。人員も資材も運ばなくちゃいけないし、それに、考えてみたら、鉄道資材がどこにもなかった。
I would think that they'd dismantle them and haul them away. But if they did that, they would leave behind the tracks of factory equipment. Then where, for example, along the branching lines?
行きましょう、相鉄くん。
うん。
The usual Paulette is coming back. In her eyes is a strong glint.
お手柄だな、レイナ。
I pat her head, and she closes her eyes in comfort.
レイナ、お役に立てたなら嬉しいですよ。
できれば、これからさらにお役に立ってもらいたい。
Paulette nods in agreement.
術船配炭鉱の再調査、レイナにも同行してもらいたい。
Hooray, Reina. Reina, never mind. Maitetsu. Never let me cook. We walk with the gravel making crunchy noises under our feet. What? Yeah. We step on the grass to reveal the tracks, trying to remember their original purpose. Kato with good wishes and a support log, wishing you a great dream, stranger. Thank you, Meow, for the hydrate.
しかし、86には助けられたな。
そうですね。ちょっと盲点でした。
Then just draw Kiha 7 with 8620. Draw Kiha 7 as any other passenger car. Hatsuroku's comment released Paula and Reina from today's commute schedule.
一日フルに使えると、やっぱり余裕が違いますよね。
うん。おかげで成果も出せてる。
We exchanged cheerful words, increasing our feelings of accomplishment.
発電所の状態も思っていたよりずっと良かった。あれならあるいは再稼働さえ可能であるかもしれん。
ですね。けど、
She looks away a bit worried.
なぎちゃんの件、大丈夫でしょうか？
大丈夫だろう。
Today, 8620 is managed under Hachiroku with Hibiki as the engineer and Nagi as the engineer assistant. Bullet's worry is a valid one, but I said that as a statement to prevent her from increasing her worries.
体力は十二分だし、機関助手としての訓練も受けている。センスの良さに至っては、86先生のお墨付きだ。
ああ、いえ、その方面じゃなくて。
ん？
Bullet kicks up some grass. I doubt she did it on purpose, but because of the bad footing, it made quite a loud noise.
約束させられたじゃないですか、相鉄くん。なぎちゃんの仕事、一つ代わりにやってあげるって。
ああ、そのことについても問題あるまい。ナギは竹を割ったような性格だしな。
It's as if there's nothing twisted about her being. She's not good at calculation or negotiation either.
美濃笠さんの手伝いか、あるいは川下りの方の手伝いか、どちらにしても謝礼としては妥当となろうさ。
それならいいんですけど。レイナ？
どうした？
I turn around and see Raina crouched down on the ground.
転んじゃったのね。大丈夫？はい。レイナは平気ですよ。
Ah. I see some tree roots. Perhaps she tripped and lost her balance. I had intended on stamping the ground to make it easier to walk on.
これは配慮が足りなかったな。僕らには小さな障害も、レイナの歩幅では。
大丈夫ですよ。レイナ、ちょっとうっかりしちゃっただけで。
うっかりしたのは僕らの方だ。
I was so focused on the conversation that I walked at my usual pace. I knew that it was too fast for Reina. Then why aren't you picking her up and carrying her?
レイナ、足を伸ばしてみて。はい。
With her still sitting on the ground, Reina stretches out her right leg, and Paulette holds onto it. Paulette starts moving Reina's knee and ankle to check her joints. I'm glad she doesn't seem to be hurt.
レイナ、平気って言ったですよ。
いや、平気ではなかろう。
I give Reina a hand to help her up, and then swoop. Yeah, so like, why didn't you do this from the start so that she wouldn't actually be injured? I carry her, and Reina makes a low volume scream. I'm a bit taken aback by her reaction.
どこか痛むのか？
いいえ、レイナ、ちょっとびっくりしちゃっただけです。
She's into it.
なぜ驚く？
整備ボディでは抱っこほとんどされることってないですから。
ああ。
To me, Railords are meant to be carried, so I did it without thinking much about it. It's true that Hachiroku in her operation body is the same size as a doll.
驚かせてすまなかったな。もしも嫌なら。
嫌じゃないです。抱っこ、楽ちんで嬉しいです。
She states her honest opinion, and then stretches her neck.
それに、遠くまで見えますよ。これならきっとすぐに見つけられちゃいます。
頼もしいな。よろしく頼む。
はいです。いいの？
Damn! I didn't know Paulette would get jealous of Reina. She mumbles. I turn to look at Paulette, and to my surprise, her eyes are full of envy.
おう、ポーレットも抱っこしてほしいのか？
はいですけど大丈夫です。まだ全然歩けちゃいますし。
She didn't even deny it. It's probably not possible to carry both of them. I mean, it probably is, just, you know, as long as they're not heavy, too heavy. But if I have Reina on my shoulder, I can still carry Paulette.
ならば、疲れたら言ってくれ。ポーレットには議会も社長業もあるのだからな。
She gives a big nod, and then becomes light-footed for her next steps. I see. She has plenty of energy left. Still, we looked around the sedimentary pond and around the dam to find the traces of the branching lines. We're not following those branches on the way back from the power plant. We're now following those branches on the way back from the power plant. She has no hesitation in her step. It means she trusts Reina that much. According to Reina, the passenger car facilities should be up ahead. Reina's voice. I'd been staring at the ground, but I begin to look up. However, I don't see anything special in particular.
どうしたのレイナ、ご機嫌ね。ですね、レイナ、思ったんです。レイナ、赤ちゃんみたいだなって。
I was about to say, do not fucking tie this back to being Reina's like the kid, Paulette's the mom, and Sotetsu's the dad.
赤ちゃん？
そうです。それで、相鉄さんがお父さんで、ポーレットがお母さんなのですよ。
Fuck off. Now that she mentions it, if someone saw us right now, they'd think we were a married couple. Without the rings, though. It makes my cheeks feel a bit warm. Warmer.
No.
A sharp call that seems to have an edge to it. Paulette isn't looking at me, but up ahead.
相鉄くんはどうですか？なりたいですか？お父さんとか。
I don't think that's the question you should be asking.
それは。
I don't know how to answer. Is it something you want to become? I've never even thought about it.
相手が誰とかそういうんじゃ ゃなく、いい反論としてどうかなって。
うん。
I feel a chill down my spine. Paulette doesn't seem to be on edge. Paulette didn't seem to be on edge. She is obviously on edge, as if something is chasing her. Yeah, her feelings for you are chasing her. No, this is... I think it's the same. It's like when Paulette went pale when she couldn't answer Kisaki's question.
僕は今まで一度たりとも父になりたいかどうかなど考えたこともなかった。
So I answer as honestly as I can. I believe that the answer to this question is important to Paulette.
事故を僕は経験して自分の双子を半身をなくしてしまっているから。
はい。
A quiet nod. I don't sense any agitation. It feels as if she's just really listening and empathizing. That's enough to calm me. I feel as if that filters out all unnecessary emotions inside of me.
だから自分もいつか死ぬとそれまでの生と考えて父となる子をなすことなど想像もしていなかった。
Looking so honestly leads me to finding out an emotion buried deep inside of me.
けれど今はなってみたいと感じる気持ちもある。それと同時にとても怖いという気持ちも。
Paulette's shoulders twitch. Her eyes are still fixated up ahead.
そうですよね。怖いですよね。そういうの。
Her mumbling is unexpected, so I don't know how to react. Seeing how she interacts with Reina, I think Paulette is filled with maternal instinct. It's also because she's a woman. Then I don't know what it is she deems scary or what those things refer to. I don't think I can ask her right away. If I ask, Paulette will ask me what I want to hear. I won't be able to answer honestly. But Paulette doesn't say anything. She may be waiting for me to speak. Loud footsteps continue to stamp the ground. Saved by the Reina again. Saved. I'm sure she's thinking the same. That voice raises my temperature. Joy, surprise, accomplishment. It blows away the heavy silence that had been enveloping us.
感謝？はい、やっぱりありました。相鉄さん、下ろしてくださいな。
うん。
After letting her down from my arm, Reina runs to the freight car. Naturally, Paul and I follow suit.
うわあ、すごいです。眼球車の無害貨車です。状態、とってもいいですよ。
ああ、そう見えるな。
放置期間、相当長いはずですよね。なのに、これ。
A cover in oil. Both of them must have been deliberately applied. The protected freight had a black glow to it and shows no signs of rust.
か15形式か10って書いてあります。この会社鉱山鉄道の10系の6番目の貨車。
会社のオリジナルの貨車なのか。
わかりません。 私、車両は詳しくないから。でも、こんなタイプ見たことないですし、多分オリジナル。
While saying that, Paulette starts looking through the freight car.
あ、でもこれ、課題じゃない。台枠がむき出しなんだ。課題、増設しないとダメですね。
なあ、すまん。課題とは、いや、その前にまず、環球車の無害貨車とは、なんだ？
ごめんなさい。環球車っていうのは、車掌さんが乗るブレーキがついてる車両です。
車掌がブレーキを操作するのか？
はい。貨車って何十両もの編成になるじゃないですか。
そうか。なるほどな。
If you sat in the 8620's cab, you'd be able to tell, but you'd have almost zero if you sat in the 8620's cab, you'd be able to tell, but you'd have almost zero rear visibility. Even if you turn around, all you'd see is the tender at most.
運転士に見えない後方で異変が発生した時に、車掌が非常ブレーキをかけられるようになっているのか。
ですです。で、無害貨車っていうのは、蓋、天井のついてない貨車ってことです。
おう。
課題、コンテナとかを乗せるための台が、台枠の上にポン付けしてある感じの貨車のことですよ。
ああ、なるほど。では、四角く周りを囲まれて、その中に貨物を入れる貨車は、有害貨車なのだな。
そうです。けど、これ、台枠、台車を受けて車体を乗せる背骨部分がむき出しで。
それで、課題の増設ということになるのか。そうしなければ、貨物が乗せられない。
はい。けど、客車と違って、乗り心地とか考える必要がないですから、課題増設は比較的簡単にできるはずです。
まあ、極端な話、荷物の重さに耐えてさえくれれば済むわけだしな。
そうですね。ですから、再生可能かどうかは。オッケーっぽいです。ポーレット。
She must have been checking each part quietly. Rena has gotten her outfit dirty, and she gives us a bright smile while waving at us.
この子、台車も台枠も、多分、ほとんど劣化ないです。そうなの？はーい。キハ07で引いてあげれば、きっとすぐにでも、レールの上を走れちゃうですよ。
Rena then turns her back to us.
あっちにも貨車あるみたいです。レイナ、ちょっと見てきますね。気をつけてね。はいです。
We see Rena off, and Paulette begins checking out the caboose on her own. As if proving what Rena says, her smile gradually grows larger.
夢みたい。どう考えても10年以上は放置されてるはずなのに。
発電所を見た時も思ったのだが。
はい。
放置、放棄ではなく、一時撤退のつもりであったのかもしれんな。
She opens her mouth slightly before nodding ever so slowly.
もう一度、鉱山を再開できるって信じて。
そうだな。今考えてみれば、行動自体も同じかもしれん。設備のほとんどは、そのまま残されていたような気が。
ですね。だから、カバーとオイルで保護をして。
そう考えれば、この状況を説明しやすいような気がする。
Around the closed Jutsen coal mine station, near the areas where there was still traffic right when the mines closed down. Somebody's stolen the tracks and cross ties.
鉱山関係の人たちは復活を諦めていなかった。だからこうしてバトンを残してくれていた。
ああ。
The race was stopped short. Jesus, I can't say that. The abandoned tracks are buried under the weeds. But the baton they had previously laid before us is just waiting for someone to pick it up.
ならば、僕たちがそれを受け継ぐ。形は変えても、こいつを再び生き返らせる。
はい。
It makes me think that it's the same. Michiko still hasn't arrived at the final stop. Not me, not Hachiroku, not this caboose. Not only that, maybe Paulette too. Taito told me this. Maybe this is what it means to atone. I can see it. The goal that's before me. If I can run together with Paulette, I think we can make it this time.
まず、必要となるのはレールの復活か。
そうですね。それは深見ちゃんのおじいさん、関さんたちと相談してみての話になりますね。
レールを戻せたら、その先は
キハ07で、この環境者や他の貨車たちも引いてきて、まずはこの子に課題をつけることになると思います。
課題をつけて石炭を運べるようにするのか。
その方が体験採掘の雰囲気出ると思うんです。無害貨車に淡水車みたいに石炭を山積みにして。
そうだな。そうすれば確かに見た目での達成感が。いや、そういう話なら宝箱はどうだ。
Her blue eyes round out.
宝箱ですか？
うん。お人よマイントレジャーなのだからな。宝箱に石炭を山積みの方がより雰囲気が出るだろう。
そうですよね。宝箱。石炭ぎっちりの宝箱をたくさん乗せて。いいですね。
安全面で問題がなければ、この環境車の車掌室に宝箱の番人として観光客を乗せるのもいいかもしれん。
掘った石炭と引き換えられる特典にするといいかもです。マニア層にはきっとすごく人気出るような気がします。
うん。しかしそうなると課題と宝箱ともいい加減な作りにはできんな。
ですね。8620修復の時に知り合った技師さんたちに設計面のことは相談しなくちゃならなくなりますね。
設計ができたとして作る方はお人よでできれば一番良いと思うのだが。
課題の方は美濃笠さんに相談ですね。宝箱はもともとお人よは木工も盛んですし。
ああ、そうか。木地師の神社があるくらいだものな。
Paula nods with determination.
文化財指定の方も準備着々と重ねてます。その関係で私も確認したんですけど。
She delays her response, by a moment for added tension, and then gives a somewhat confident smile. She looks so cheerful that it brings me sudden joy to my heart.
今も職人さんはたくさんいらっしゃるみたいです。まだ直接にお会いしたことはないんですけど。
美濃笠さんならきっとその方面にもつてがあろう。できればご紹介を願いたいものだな。
あ、そうだ、紹介って言えば。
ん？
客車必要になるじゃないですか、86の。私、それ、マイテツ仲間に打診してるんです。
なあ。
Now that she mentions it, she's right. I'd completely forgotten due to my business with secretary work. Oh, Paulette should be much busier than I am. Not only that, she's making progress with the bank and the railway bonds, and yet she looks at everything with a careful eye and provides support in silence. It makes me realize how good her abilities are, but it also worries me. It's too much for her to bear. Because of that, I suddenly freeze. A blank expression as if all confidence is lost. It makes me realize again that I can't leave that alone.
それで、使わなくなった客車、譲ってもらえそうなんです。
そうなのか。
But it's not like that. It's not like I can do anything right away. But I want to return the favor. My emotions tell me to reach out and touch Paulette's hair.
そうですか？
ああ、すまん。僕は、これより他に褒めよう知らぬ。
いえ、すまなくなんて全然ないから。
そうか。
I continue stroking her hair. I brush my fingers through it. Just like how I did with Michiko and Hibiki when she was young. But right now, I have a different emotion inside of my heart. Love emotion.
ポーレットは本当にすごいと思う。視野の広さも、怠らず手当てをすることも。
そんな、私なんて全然。
だから、時折不安になるのだ。無理をさせすぎているのではないかと思ってしまう。
Paulette's lips quiver. She looks up at me with pleading eyes. Which is why I continue on.
苦しいことがあるなら、僕に聞かせてほしい。僕は、ポーレットを支えたい。
そうですか。
うん。
Her eyes, blue as ever, waver. But then they hide behind her eyelids. Paulette turns away just a little.
ありがとうございます。けど、私平気です。まだ頑張れるし、きっと、必ず、お役に立てます。
そうか。
In that case, I shouldn't take another step. I tap her lightly on the head and let go. A slightly saddened voice and gaze, but Paulette won't take another step either. Right now, this is the distance between us. I can't touch her behind this invisible wall.
ありましたよ。すぐに使えそうな貨車はもう一台。状態、あんまり良くないのも2台あります。
そんなにか。
すごいわ、レイナ。よく見つけてくれたわね。えへへ。レイナ、頑張りました。
Wanting to be petted and praised, Raina runs over. Paulette picks her up off the ground. The weakness in Paulette's face from earlier is completely gone now.
ねえ、そうてつくん。貨車、使わないのが出るようなら、客車との交換材料にもできますよね、きっと。
なるほど。しかし、この貨車群も死に譲渡されたものではないのか？
ああ、そうですよね。それは議会で審議してもらって、譲渡なり売却なりしてもらわなくちゃになりますね。86にも客車がついたら、お人よ鉄道、すごく賑やかになりますね。ねえ。
They're talking lovingly to each other at a distance where their noses can touch. Well, it's been her usual self again. Is she purposefully hiding it? Because she's in front of Reina? In that case, I'll follow suit. If Paulette wants to hide her weakness, I'll support her discreetly.
ともかく、ひとまずは移動だな。行動と拝宿者も調査して、それで戻って間に合う時間だ。
After taking the train back to Ohitoyo, they'll turn 8620 around and wait for us at the closed Jutsusen coal mine station. There's no problem if we get there early and have to wait for a while, and have to wait for them. But if we make them wait, they'll definitely get worried.
テキパキ動こう。焦らず、けれども雑にならずに。
Fucking doesn't let me press the enter key. This time, Rena trots over to me. I pick her up so we can move around easier. Just as a precaution, I ask Paulette.
抱っこはどうだ？必要ならば言ってくれ。
ははまた面白かこと考えましたね。
Old man Munakasa appears to be genuinely interested in the idea. When I see this part of him, it makes me realize that he really is Nagi's grandfather.
課題やらの方は図面ばもらえばなんとでも。大物は大物で任せられるもんもおりますからな。
ありがとうございます。
いやいや、こちらこそ仕事もらえるわけですけんね。
He tightens up his expression and then turns back to Paulette.
で、市長さんのおっしゃられる通り、お人よは木工、執行にも古か歴史を持つ町とです。
Perhaps it's because we're talking about work today. He calls Paulette Mayor.
執行とは、あ、ちくわ竹細工？
そぎゃんとですな。お人よの滝海ば、日の本中から求められておりますや。
弓ですか？
I glance at Paulette and she shakes her head, as if to say she didn't know. The amount in production is probably so small that it doesn't even go on record. But people who are in the know must be aware of it.
では、その木工や実行の技術を使い、先ほどお話ししたような宝箱をお作りいただくことは。
できるできんで言えばできるでしょうな。やるやらんは職人それぞれの腹で決まりましょうが。
やっていただけない可能性高いとお考えでしょうか？
It seems that Paulette also sensed the ulterior message he was hinting at. Being asked directly, old man Minokasa nods and slowly drinks his tea.
宝箱ば一度作ったら何年も何十年もそこに置かれっぱなしになりますでしょ。
ああ。
I see. Assuming this plan goes well, and Ohito becomes more developed, but the treasure chests will be left behind.
作ってくださる職人さんには旨味が薄い。
いうような気が私なんぞにゃ。
では、宝箱をもっと小さく、観光客に持ち帰ってもらえるものとしてはどうでしょう？
それいい！
コンテナ代わりの大きな宝箱と、持ち帰れるそのミニチュアの手のひらサイズと。
Paulette's smile gives me passion. It gives me more and more inspiration.
持ち帰りを普段使いもできるような箱とすれば、お人よの木工、 執行の生きた宣伝にもなるはずです。
定期継続のお仕事の依頼になりますし、評判次第で新しい特産品になっていくかもしれません。
なるほど。面白かんですな。
He slowly nods, as if to consider it thoroughly.
お客の負担となりますから、コストは抑える必要が出る。が、その中でも良い質のものを作っていただけるなら。
そここそ腕の見せ所いうもんでしょう。そがん話なら燃える職人ばいるかとも思いますな。
では、そうした職人さんへのご紹介を願えませんでしょうか。
よかです。よかですが、紹介ならナギに任せた方がまあまあよか結果になりますでしょ
う。そうなのですか？
His face wrinkles up into a wry smile.
職人同士が顔合わせりゃややこしかもんいろいろ生まれますけんね。
ああ。
She must have experienced it before. Paulette's tone makes it all believable. Rather, it seems natural. Craftsmen would have their own pride and feel competitive with one another.
我が孫ながらナギには裏表いうもんが中ですけんね。まずまず飾らん話ばできるんじゃなかとかと。
Paulette also smiles when we hear that.
ナギちゃん、やっぱり職人さんたちの間でも人気者だったりするんでしょうか？
いやいや、どこにでも顔ば出して口も出すんで邪魔にされとるだけですけんね。
Despite what he's saying, old man Minokasa is giving a big smile as he's melting away. As if he's melting away. I could tell from his face and tone that he's doting on his granddaughter.
まあしかし、あれの前で無理ばいう職人はまずおらんでしょう。
なるほど。ご配慮ありがとうございます。
In that case, we should explain the plan to Nagi and get her support before talking to the craftsman. If we do that, Nagi will become a great pillar of support for us.
それで、そのナギなのですが。
ああ、そういえば遅かとですな。
Old man Minokasa looks at the clock on the wall.
早瀬さんとこのお手伝いば終わって寄り道と買い食いばしてももう戻っとる時間とですが。
電話深見にしてみましょうか。
はい。いや、それには及ばんとです。
お。
Even I can hear it coming closer. Footsteps at a rushed pace. Actually, it's the sound of someone running.
じいちゃん、大変ばい。兄さんも来とったと。ちょうどよかばい。
何事だ？
She's drenched in sweat. Her face is red and she's out of breath. Nagi wouldn't be the kind to do this desperate. Nagi wouldn't be the kind to be this desperate to just come home. Yep.
猫、溺れとったばい。それで、深見ちゃん助けに川に飛び込んで。
現場はどこだ？警察は？
違うばい。溺れとらんばい。深見ちゃんカッパのごたる泳ぎよるけん。よかった。
Paulette breathes a sigh of relief. But we're not out of the woods yet. If that were all, Nagi wouldn't have run all the way here.
ならば、何が大変なのだ？
そればい。そのまま川下りば再開して、終わったら深見ちゃんブルブル震え始めたばい。
風邪をひいたか？
と 熱38度6分あったとよ。お医者様は来てくれたばい。緑おばちゃんの主治医さんだけ、そっちは全然安心ばい。3日もすればなるばい。はあ、よかった。
No, it's not good. Not yet. I ask you the same question once more.
ならば、何が大変なのだ？
そうだったばい。予約客ばい。団体さんばい。明日の夕方の4時からばい。
While it freezes, a group reservation at this season. If a cancellation were to occur, it would further put the dying tourism in danger.
でも、兄さんがいて助かったばい。早速仕事変わってもらうけん使うばい。
That's it. Actually, there isn't much time. We'll have to move immediately.
ナギ、食事と休憩をとってくれ。もし可能なら、それで疲労を抜き次第。
さすが兄さん、よか覚悟ばい。
Nagi smiles and then puts her fists together with a dry popping sound.
腹ごしらえして特訓ばい。
Damn. Double fake out. Maitetsu. You're fucking... Oh, Pukami jumped into the river to save a cat. Actually, she's fine because she can swim. She's a very good swimmer. But actually, she caught a cold, so... when she came out of the river, she caught a cold. But actually, it's fine because the doctor's here. And then finally... there's a big reservation at 4 p.m. the next day, so... You're gonna have to step up to the plate, Sotetsu, and save the town, or whatever the fuck. This is bad. I'm awake, but my body feels heavy. Honestly, I don't feel like waking up. I thought I was more fit than this. After exploring around while carrying Reina, I then trained with Nagi. It seems that I worked myself a bit too hard yesterday. A wide range of my muscles are now aching.
それでも起きねば無駄にしてしまう。昨日のあれほどの特訓を。
Are you telling me this guy has not experienced DOMS when he was shoveling fucking tons of coal for 4 hours or for hours on end? Are you saying his arms didn't fucking... Are you telling me his arms were working just fine the next day? That's the most unrealistic part of this game. Even though it's summer, Kuma River is cold at night. After getting drenched and swallowing water numerous times, I figured out one thing. I can't do this alone with Nagi.
熊川は思春期の女の子だといつか深見が話していたが。
It's difficult to manage and changes tempers instantly. But despite the water's beauty on the surface, the river's cloudy. If that's what you call an adolescent girl, it's something I've never been able to manage. I'd never be able to manage.
ガダ、僕にあしらえぬものならば。
相鉄様、起きておいでですか？
なあ。
Before I can speak of her, Hachiroku's silhouette appears. My emotions feel uplifted.
二度寝の誘惑と戦っていたところだ。
過去形ならばよろしゅうございました。相鉄様にお客様です。
客？
Is it Paulette? I look at the clock. It's not even 6:30 yet.
ポーレット様です。寝ているようなら起こさないでいいとおっしゃって。
No way! I can't believe it's Paulette. It's almost like this is her route or something.
5分だけ待ってもらってくれ。
This isn't the time to be feeling sluggish. As if to tear off the stiffness, I get up. I grim myself at the bare minimum and head to the living room. Paulette's waiting. I cannot hear the word groom in the same way as I used to. Paulette's waiting there with a nervous look on her face. Like, holy shit, has there been so many YouTubers outed as groomers? It's become a meme. That's when you know it's a problem.
おはよう、ポーレット。今日はショーできずにすまんな。
いえ、事情が事情ですし、今日はスケジュール、議会と常務だけですし。
She speaks quickly in a nervous way, and then makes an even more nervous expression. Paulette then bows.
っていうか、私こそすみません。こんな朝早くから。
常務前にということならば、この時間になる。すまなくなどは全くないが、何かあったか？
何もないといいなって。もちろん、何もないに決まってるんですけど。ですから、念のためっていうか。
She holds out both her hands. Inside them are
お守り袋。
はい、昨日の今日のお話でしたから、
That is adorable.
手作りか。これはありがたい。
I accept it, and Paulette looks obviously relieved.
ちっちゃいので精一杯だったんですけど。
It's a small good luck charm, but I can tell that a lot of care was put into making it.
カエルの刺繍。なるほど。無事帰るというお守りだな。
すみません、子供っぽくて。
That is a very Japanese pun, though. Hang on.
カエルの刺繍。なるほど。無事帰るというお守りだな。
Yeah, because the word for frog is kaeru, right? Hang on, I need to see this. Right, yeah. Frog is spelled kaeru, and safety, or returning safely, I guess. Is what is it? I guess is Kaido? Something like that.
いや、こうしたものはむしろシンプルなほど願いが通じそうな気がするよ。
I don't know much about embroidery, but the finishing in this is superb. I knew she was good at repetitive work, but I didn't think she could sew too.
ありがとう。これなら僕も事故なく乗務できそう。ん？
I feel something rustle at my fingertips. Is there something wrapped in the paper inside?
中はダメです。開けちゃダメ。開けたらお守り効果がなくなりますから。
That makes it even more suspicious. What did you put in the bag, Paulette?
もうすまん。
So something is inside it. I had no intention of opening it, but I made Paulette panic by not knowing what it was. And that reaction makes you want to open it even more, doesn't it?
っていうかですね、今日大丈夫そうですか？ナギちゃんと二人で。
She's talking at a quicker pace than usual. She must really be worried about me.
ナギと二人で。ではとても無理そうだったので、フォローを頼むことにした。
フォローって誰にですか？私です。私とナビと。 86ちゃん。
Carrying a scarlet lacquered tray with some teacups, Hachinoku enters the room gracefully. Slowly, but something about her movements tell me she's not happy.
86ちゃんがフォローって？
より厳密にはフォローを行うのはナビだ。86はナビとの共感で僕に情報を伝達する。
Paulette claps her hands.
わかりました。ナビちゃん、いつも相鉄くんを上空からモニターしてるから。
故にあれには僕が川下り船に乗った何度かのデータも蓄積されている。
Navi, downstreaming is an act that places unnecessary danger upon myself. That's why it takes specific details to analyze and also prevent accidents.
流れの状況に応じ、最も安全に川を下れるコース取りのシミュレートを、ですからナビは行えます。
Her tone and expression are calm, but I can tell from her eyes that she's not convinced why.
それを最高効率で相鉄様に伝達するため、この私が、船に乗るなど。
乗るだけではなく、乗りこなすのだ。僕と二人で、船頭の職務をこなさねばならん。
わかっております、相鉄様。
Hachinoku closes her eyes, as if she's trying to hide everything. Hide everything within her.
安全は最大の使命。それは、周運においても同じと存じます。
無理をさせることは申し訳ない。
Hachinoku is a thing. She defines herself as a thing meant to be used by me. Yeah, but Dexter would disagree. But even so, I know that Hachinoku has her own will and wishes.
86の不満はわかるつもりだ。僕と86が揃って、なぜ船なのだという気はしてる。
Her open eyes look to me. That by itself tells me that my inference is true.
だが、無人の客車を引いても、8620は満足すまい。本当の意味での復活のため、これは必要な一歩なのだ。
必要な一歩なのですね。
A small nod.
満員の客車を、笑顔に満ちたお客様たちを、もう一度、あの子に引かせてあげるために。
僕はそうだと確信している。
A revived tourism industry is needed for 8620 to pull a filled passenger car. As of right now, the Kuma River downstreaming is the face of Ohito tourism. I mean, you know, the last two routes they didn't do the same thing and they still achieved full passenger cars. If that phase suffers any kind of damage, the revival of the industry will be pushed further away.
私の本望は、相鉄様にお使いいただくこと。どのような役割であれ、そこに不満などはございません。
She must have understood. Hachinoku's eyes softened.
ですが、私が船に乗ることがあの子の役に立つと、そう理解でき、心のトゲを抜いていただけたように思います。
ならばよかった。
本当に、そうですよね。この一歩は必要な一歩。寄り道に見えても本当は、ゴールへきっと近づける。
Uh-oh. An encouraging statement from Paulette. I look at her, and our eyes meet.
団体のお客様のご予約をいただいているのは16時だ。
I tell her today's schedule. The explanation on safety equipment and directions to the dock took about 30 minutes. I tell her about the floor from Fukami, still sick in bed, and Midori.
そっか、それなら。
Paulette mumbles to herself and then stands up. She bids us farewell and bows. After raising her head, she asks me one more time.
それと少しだけナビちゃんとお話しさせてもらっていいですか？
無論だ。通信をするならすぐに。
いえ、直接どこか着水してるところで。
そうか。ならば、レールショップへ戻る途中の、お城橋のあたりに着水するよう指示しよ
助かります。お願いします。
う。その程度はお安いご用だ。が、ナビと一体何を話すのだ？
She just smiles, a bit troubled, but also a bit playfully.
内緒でいいですか？失敗したらちょっと恥ずかしいですから。
何かに挑戦するのか。
挑戦って言うと大げさな気もしますけど、でもはいそうなります。
ならばお互い一刻たりとも無駄にはできんな。
I stand up while stretching. I put away the good luck charm in my breast pocket, and then move the same right hand out.
それぞれ最善の準備を尽くし、良い挑戦を行おう。
A soft smile, as if it's a ray of sunshine. Our hands held together give us both courage. A short handshake is all that's needed. We head our separate ways. The water isn't that hot. I thought that the sound effect would end. It did not. Never mind. My body's fatigued and cold from training and falling overboard. It really stings.
よし。
I wipe myself down and change, then put on a happy coat. What? All that's left is the big moment. My growing willpower shakes off the weight of my body.
遅いわーい！男のくせに長風呂ばい！
I don't think I took more than 5 minutes to take the shower. Oh, it takes as long as I do. But I don't want to rain on Nagi's parade. And I also don't want to worry Fukami, who's sleeping in the room farther inside.
すまん。気合を入れ直していた。
Why are you looking at me like that? Nagi looks around me. She stares and is breathing heavily through her nose. It feels like I'm being examined, so I stand up straight.
気合ば姿に出とるばい！兄さんの着こなし、なかなかよかとよ！
お褒めに預かり光栄だ。
みなりば、お客さんに与える影響大きかとからね！
She's projecting her voice louder than usual. Ah, so that's why. She's making sure she can be heard farther into the room. It's a way of reducing the worries of Fukami, who's on bed rest, as directed by the doctor.
お客様が感じる不安はそのまま船のリスクになる。経験が浅いなどと思われぬよう、常に堂々と振る舞う。
そうばい！それが大事ばい！
Nagi and I grin together as we talk aloud on the list of checkpoints. There's no reaction from the room in the back. I think that's proof that Fukami is relieved.
深見様、お体だいぶ楽になったご様子でした。
My assumption is proven by Hachinoku as she comes from the back. She takes off her mask, gloves, and a protective plastic sheet. She appears to be light-footed as she walks over to us.
おかゆもすべてきれいにお上がりになられて、なぎ様に美味しかった、ごちそうさまとのことでした。よかった
Nagi bends over at the knees. She rounds her back and lets out a big sigh.
おい、
ナギ様
Grab. Nagi had gotten a jump start, but I managed to grab her by the sleeve at the last minute.
何するばい
She fights my hold like a playful little kitten. I know how she feels, but if I let go right now,
何のため私一人がお見舞いに行ったのですか
Hatsuroku has an astonished tone, but a part of her seems kind about it.
ナギ様までもが風邪をひいたら明日以降も川下り船の営業に支障が出てしまいます
Exactly.
大丈夫ばい風邪とかひいたことなかけん
Yeah, I bet Fukami thought that too.
だとしても、移しちゃってたらどうしようと、深見は余計な不安を抱えることとなるぞ。
She freezes like a cat with its tail grabbed. Right after that, Nagi calms down.
わかったばい深見ちゃんに会うの今日のところは我慢しとくばい
それがいい。明日になれば、回遊した深見と心置きなく話せよ
う。そうして、その席で報告すればよいのです。
Hatsuroku says in a gentle way. You could even say that Hatsuroku's acting like Nagi's big sister or mother right now.
今日のこと、どれほど見事に川下りをし、いかにお客様たちにご満足いただけたかを。わかったわいそうすればい
ごめんなんしょ予約しとった田所いうもんだがね。
お待ちしておりました。ようこそいらっしゃいませ。
She must have imitated exactly what Fukami said and how she acted. Nagi expresses her usual Kumamoto dialect and guides the group skillfully. I was gonna say she didn't use by for once.
ナギ様、頑張っておられますね。
ああ。
Nagi appears to be doing everything she can for the sake of her friend.
まず、皆さんに救命胴衣をお配りします。前と後ろに気をつけてくださいね。
Her Kumamoto dialect still slips out from time to time, but that doesn't stop her. Her words and attitude are fueled by her friendship. It's actually quite beautiful, really. There should still be something I can do for Paulette. I now understand that is yet another thing I should do immediately. In order to make the people of Ohitoyo happy, I must first make Paulette happy.
86、行くぞ。船の準備をしておこう。
はい、相鉄様。
Happy wife, happy life. But Paulette's not wife yet.
相鉄様、進路を一時、背に入ってください。
ん？
The poles are used by pushing with my legs and hips. I put tension to the back of my knees and then spin around the pole using my hips only.
おお
I thought I was doing the same way I practiced it, but possibly due to the fatigue, I've made things a little rough.
水かぶったっぺよ
そりゃお客さんラッキーばい
Yeah, you're lucky because you've got a shit driver. What would you call a ferryman? Maybe she didn't have the capacity to pretend any longer on water. Or maybe the guests influenced her by to do so. Nagi is talking just like usual now. She's getting people excited like she normally does.
熊谷 川の水は健康によかとよ。源流の方じゃ、長命水ば言われとるばい。
ありゃ、それじゃ頭からかぶらんと損だっぺ。
Gaslighting 101.
兄さん、もっとザブザブ飲み立てておくれよし。
I don't have the capacity to answer. But if I'm called to, I'll have to respond.
ご期待ください。
あの兄さんは有名やけんね。思いもよらんとこできっとお飲み立てやるばい。
He's really famous for being shit.
おお、そりゃ楽しみだっぺ。
My abrupt responses are softened by Nagi. To be honest, that was some quick thinking. She turns my inexperienced skills into high hopes with just a single phrase. Yeah, she's girl bossing right now. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Maybe not the gatekeep part. Up ahead is a different part. I'll be making some waves whether I want to or not. Because of the drizzle, my vision is limited. I hone my senses, but stay relaxed, so that I can hear all of Hachiroku's directions, and to not miss any signs.
宗達様、10時方向に大きく迂回してください。2時、右前方の岩の下は広く浅瀬です。
うん。
おっとっと。
We evade a large rock, and then come through to a cool breeze. That must have pushed us through the drizzle, as the color of green at the edge of the river becomes darker.
あ、釣り人ばい。おーい。
おうおう、手振り返してくれっぺか。嬢ちゃん、ここらじゃ何が釣れるんかね。
あゆばい。尺あゆって言って、こぎゃんと大きいことが釣れるとよ。
Yo, why didn't that fisherman catch some bitches, if you know what I mean? What?
だ。
Nagi probably let go of the paddle and held out her hand when she said this big. I quickly put the pole back in the water and touched the bottom at the surprise. Fuck, I quickly put the pole back in the water and touched the bottom at the surprisingly shallow spot. Touched. The force of that splashed. Of that splashes some more.
うっぷ。
こぎゃんとタイミングでやりやるばい。
こら参ったっぺ。
Happy murmurs mixed in with laughter. Nagi's follow-ups are truly effective. The splash right now drenched them in a way that could have easily turned into a complaint. Nagi cries out. She slowly points upward. Looking down at the guests, I frantically turn up.
これは。
おお、ああ、こりゃ見事な。
The awed silence is drowned out by numerous shudder sounds. And then some more call-outs mixed with sighs.
お人よじゃ、焦げなにじさ、よう見れっぺか。
Yeah, don't worry about how Nagi was surprised that she saw a rainbow. You obviously you get to see rainbows all the time.
ないばい。見るの初めてばい。こぎゃんと丸くかかった虹。
I thought she was going to play into it, but I guess she's too honest. It's true that even I haven't seen one as great as this. A beautiful rainbow that is perfectly round. No. Staring at it will be dangerous. I tell myself to calm down and quietly drop my eyes back down to the water surface. Right at the same time, Hachiroku looks up to the sky for some reason. She turns her gaze to somewhere higher than the top of the rainbow. Talking about Navi.
どうした、八六。 What?
おお、ああ、こりゃ見事な。
What?
おお、こりゃ見事な。
What?
どうした、八六。
おお、ああ、こりゃ見事な。
どうした、八六。
相鉄様、2時。空のではなく、時計の2時。よどみに船を進めてください。
Thanks for the hydrate.
ああ、
And the stretch. I see. Moving the boat through the murky waters will slow us down. She must have wanted the guests more time. Must have wanted the guests more time to look at the rainbow.
相鉄様、今です。よどみを出、元の流れに戻ってください。
なんと、もうか。
Setting aside the doubt in my mind, my body quickly follows Hachiroku's direction.
皆様、前方、虹の中央をご覧ください。
Nagi blurts out a weird cry at Hachiroku's sudden announcement.
朱色の鉄橋、熊川第四橋梁をご覧いただけますでしょうか。
ああ。
I let out a cry without thinking. Was she adjusting the timing by heading into the stagnant waters? And this morning, Paulette and Navi were talking about this. Ah. It was all planned out from the start. The sound of the typhon, the rumbling noise of the trains shakes the silence of the river. Maybe I can market your channel through the chatbots I make. That definitely does not. I don't think that would work.
Whoa! Korea!
Rainbow Bridge and an iron bridge, and some lingering mist in the middle of that is Kiha 7, traveling at a leisurely speed. It feels almost as if we wandered inside a picture book. The scenery looks fantastical and simply beautiful.
Ah.
It looks almost as good. It almost looks good enough to be a CG, but I don't think it is. But I can't look. The leg of the bridge will be coming up soon.
相鉄様、11時。流れに船を。
わかっている。
Who knows, maybe you will get one more person on stream from it, I guess. I push against the pole to move the boat into the frothy current. At the same time, I rile myself up to prepare for what's to come from here on.
お待たせばい
Seems like it flipped the switch with Nagi as well. Seems like it flipped the switch with Nagi as well. She paddles hard to get to the current quicker.
ここから先こそ熊川隊急流下りの本番